the same time, listening skills are also very, very important. They say that don't listen to reply, listen to understand. This is something every one of us has to inculcate. It happened sometime that we had a training session and there were a group of people. So we were asked by our professor that how many of you think that you have good listening skills? So every one of us has raised the hands thinking that, okay, I listen to music a lot. Someone said that I listen to stories very nicely. I listen to all interviews. I have very good listening skills. Then he handed us a sheet of paper that has some psychological tests that will test on our ability of listening. So that skills of listening. So we were given a set of questions and we had to answer all those. And there was a score sheet. And to our surprise, almost 98% of that group was declared as people having very poor listening skills. The listening skills, so we always think that we are very good listeners. But if you are listening, already having a thought or an opinion or some decision or already something in your mind, and yet you are listening, then that is not right listening. When we are listening, we should listen just to listen and understand. Only then we can understand what the other person is trying to communicate to us. So this is how listening skills we should always think, test on ourselves about. So listening skills are very, very important for students because students are given right instructions. It is very important for those who join their jobs also. People in their hierarchy, they give them proper instructions, but when they are not ready to listen and understand them properly, it's always a huge gap between the expectation versus reality. And writing skills are very, very important. We do think that we understood something, but how much we are able to put it back in using the right words and the right expression. Writing skills are very, very important. It is suggested for all the students to learn how to write something that they have known properly. Nowadays, we are seeing that a lot of workshops, very, very small duration workshops are also conducted in writing, in content writing, in effective email writing, in effective resume preparation. Because it is also very important that whatever you are expected what is expected from the other person, that should be there in your written form. That should be there in the written form. What is there in the written form becomes a credible thing. That becomes a proof. Something we can talk so much, but when something is on paper, then it becomes a credible proof. So writing it, documenting something is very, very important. So speaking skills, we have also discussed that one, that how do you speak? Tells a lot of things. It tells about your character. It tells about your acceptance of the people. It tells about yourself, your opinions. It tells about your emotional balance. It tells about your agreeableness. It tells about your social skills. Lot is communicated through what is spoken. At the same time, having said that, a lot is communicated with the silence also. So silence speaks more than words. So verbal communication and non-verbal communication. In non-verbal communication, body language or gestures play a very important role. When did language start? Just if we can just think back, go back and think. When did language would have started? Like think about the early man living in the caves. So they didn't have any language, but they would have definitely communicated with other people. They would have told that it is cold, there it is fire, don't come here, snake is there, tiger is about to come. Something they would have communicated. So though they didn't have any language, they would have communicated. They had communicated something with each other. So communication happened. Language came later. Then how did they communicate? It is all by gestures, it is all by body language. Very small thing we can do, a fun activity. Like if I think that now I have started the session and I am still in doubt that whether my voice is audible or not. So I ask you that is my voice audible? I ask you, is my voice audible? Then you all people who are seeing me are not able to unmute your devices and then tell me that my voice is audible or not. Then you try to tell it in the form of some gestures. right? Now, if any of you or few of you say that no, your voice is very much audible. Someone tells like that, no, your voice is very much audible. Good, go on. I'll get confused. Though your words say that my voice is audible, yet if I look at you and if I see you nodding your head this way, then my brain first catches this signal rather than the words you speak. I'll still get it out. I will again ask because your head is saying that no, it is not audible. Your mouth is saying that yes, it is audible. What will my brain first catch up is the gesture, not the words. Right? Again, the person will ask. If you want, you can just try this on another people, any other also. Try to tell something and act exactly in the opposite way. Let the other person observe that whether the person will catch up the information that is communicated verbally or non-verbally. It's always the non-verbal communication that is received more effectively by the other people. So how do we stand? How do we walk? While talking, while expressing something, while saying something, how do we stand? How do we show our hand gestures? Where do we place our hands? Where do we place our legs? These are all very important, particularly when you are attending some seminars, when you are giving some seminars, when you are attending interviews, when you are in a team and you are trying to interact with the team. Body language plays a very, very important role. There are few small body things that we can learn, like whenever if you are in a class, if you're a student, if you're in a class, someone is trying to explain you, if you are sitting like this if you are sitting with your hands folded one on another like this, so we can see some people sitting like this, right? Whatever you say, they just sit like this, and also one leg on the other leg, and the other person keeps on trying to tell something, and these people, yeah, though they nod their head, so according to psychology, that says that the other person is not receiving anything. They are just nodding their heads, but they are not ready to accept what is being told, or they are not ready to understand, or they are not ready to think that okay, this is something worthy, let me also listen and learn something. No. So you should closing of your both the hands one over the other, locking your hands and locking your legs is a wrong body gesture when it comes to formal setup. When you are in your personal space, it is never no constraints. But when you are in a classroom environment, when you are before your hierarchy, or maybe it's your professors, or if your employers or someone, always remember that don't have your leg on leg and hand on hand. Just keep it open, keep the hands open. That shows that you are open to learn. There are few body gestures that are observed in the interview skills also. So everyone should be very, very particular about these things. So some unwanted gestures, some unwanted shakes, or shrug ups, what we say, you shrug yourself, or your facial expressions. When someone is trying to say something, any doubtful facial expression can definitely disturb the mind of other. Unwanted smile, you might be thinking something, you would have smiled for something, but when the other person who is trying to communicate with you something, so unwanted, so wrong time smiles, wrong time gestures will always put us in problems. So it's very important regarding body language and presentation skills. It's very important that how do you present yourself, present your work. Think that your mother has cooked all the delicious dishes. All the delicious dishes are cooked in your home, but they are to be served also properly. If just she puts a plate and keep all the dishes one over the other, will you be able to eat? You cannot eat. Even if it is served 3 or 4 in a minimum quantity, but if they are served properly, you can eat and you can fulfill your appetite. But if they do 100 things, but all the 100 things are just kept one on the other, cannot eat. It's also, you may have so many things in your mind, you may have so much talent, you may have so much of information to tell, but that is to be presented properly. So we, as students, we see that many times they are given proper guidelines to present something. Let it be through paper, let it be through PowerPoints, or let it be through videos, let it be through an experiment or something. we should understand that and try to present our things in different various forms. That will really help. And paraphrasing is also one good communication skill that we have to see. We see in every corporate and non-corporate meetings, we see that someone is asked to write the minutes of meeting. It's very important because again, though all have participated in the meeting, yet this minutes of meeting draft will go to each and every employee, because that's a proof. Then you should be able to summarize the things, should be able to, then this person who is writing the minutes of meeting should also have the listening skills, should also have the writing skills. It's like they should have the both. And also they paraphrase, because that should be kept short. Minutes of meeting should be kept short, so you should know how to paraphrase it. In the same way, discussion is also a good communication skill. There is a difference between discussion and debate. Discussion is I tell my opinion, you tell your opinion. We both will learn from each other. Let us give our own perspectives. Let us give our own directions. Let us see what is the best among both of our opinions, and let us go with the things that we felt this can be better than what I have come up. So anyone, all those people who are participating in a discussion, there should definitely be a raise in the cognitive levels by the end of the discussion. If there is a raise in their emotional levels after the discussion, it means that it's not a discussion, it's a debate. So exchange of knowledge should happen. That is how we should know how to talk to a group of people, withstand with our own opinion, but yet not being aggressive. So that is the beauty of this discussion skills.